business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. All right. What's going on, everybody? It is top 3 time. This is the DPI podcast. I'm Matt with Disney Planning Insights. Guy on the other screen, and I just have to point at you. I have to remember that. Peter Salvadori from Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel. It's that guy there. We are going to pick a random category, and we are going to give you our top 3 after we get about 20 seconds to think about it. So no cut screens, nothing funny like that. We are very transparent, unlike the Biden administration, about what we're doing. So, here we go. So, here is our bag of ideas, and we are going to go with number 17. Number 17 this week, and let's see what number 17 is going to be. Google Sheets. I thought I had this all open. 17 is, I know. Here you go. This is a quality one. Your favorite face character meet and greet. So no fur, only faces.
Yeah, I had to sit for a moment. I was like, the hell is he doing? Oh, got it.
You've got 20 seconds.
Planning your first trip and getting overwhelmed by all the details? Planning your next trip and just want some new suggestions on things you haven't tried? Contact me at Princess and the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you planning your next trip to the most magical place on earth.
You can contact Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. All right. Today's top 3 is face character meet and greets, and we are probably going to bounce around a lot of the parks. There's a lot of good face character meet and greets here. So
there are. It's honestly like just rolling through my head the sheer number of them. And
I know.
I'm sitting here thinking like, what are the best 3? Like I'm trying to still slim it down in my mind to like, oh, that one's kind of unique, which kind of makes it special. So maybe go with that one.
Yeah, I'm sitting with 5, and I'm like, okay, let's see what Peter does. And okay, so if you guys got an idea of your top 3 face character meet and greets, put them down in the comments. Let us know in the question and answer section over on the Spotify app. And if you've got an idea for a top 3 in a future show, go over to the website. It's down at the bottom right now, but if you're listening to us, it's patmdisneytravel.wixsite.com/planning. The box is going to be in the upper right-hand corner, and you can submit your top 3 idea to us. So, Peter, why don't you start us off with your number 3?
See, I don't know if I'm still ready for this. Let's go with, okay, yeah. I'm going to go with this because I can also tie in a bunch of other my other favorite things about Disney. But let's go with Back by Gaston's Tavern. During the parties especially, but even during other times, you can normally catch them out there. I'm going to go with Gaston. Gaston is a really, really fun meet and greet because regardless of the Gaston, whether it's in Disneyland or Disney World, it does not really matter. They cast and train that individual perfectly. It is just so hilarious, whether you go actually meet him or you just kind of like stand off, fly on the wall and watch him for 10 minutes. So like the great thing about it is there's the fountain, there's Gaston's Tavern, and there's the Gaston spot where he stands. And so you can pop in, grab that delicious treat that we've talked about on this show many times, cinnamon roll and LeFou brew. And then instead of sitting inside, if it's a relatively nice day, you know, temperature-wise and all that, sitting outside and just kind of watching the Gaston meet and greet, he is hilarious. I mean, he is just so self-centered about who he is.
He is an ass.
I've seen him do all sorts of stuff, like flex in front of a person's face, and like, it's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. And when people swoon over him, he'll just, oh yes, of course I know you would have that reaction. No, it's just really funny and just really fun. It's just this lighthearted, jovial experience all the time. So even though he classifies as a villain, it's just, you know, he's he's maybe the most non-villain villain, but also at the same time maybe the most scary villain because he represents so many people. But now we're getting into whole other. I digress. It's a really fun meet and greet.
It is. It is. So my number 3, I'm going to go over to Epcot for mine, and we're going to go to the UK Pavilion, and kind of tucked back in the back, you're going to get to meet Mary Poppins. Now you can meet Mary Poppins at a few different locations, but I love this location because it is very, very picturesque. Normally she's either meeting in the gazebo back in the back there, or there's a little garden area between the gazebo and kind of the entrance that you walk through that she'll meet you as well. And that's just a really good meet and greet. You know, a lot of people really enjoy Mary Poppins as a character. She's in that iconic white dress with the red sash, with the umbrella, and it just one of those characters that, you know, when you get to be an adult at Disney, it's one of those characters that you kind of search out and find, because it is a really cool meet and greet. Other places that you can meet her, 1900 Park Fair, you can meet her, and then sometimes in the Hubgrass area in front of Crystal Palace, she'll be hanging out there and you can meet her there. So a few different places you can meet Mary Poppins, but she is going to be my number 3 choice. So let's go ahead and get to our number 2s.
You're going to see a theme in mine, because I'm going to stay in Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to jump to the other side of the park, and I am going to tell you that outside Pirates of the Caribbean, you can find Jack Sparrow. And not Jack Sparrow, Captain Jack Sparrow. And
yes.
Here's the funny thing about that. If you are just walking by, right? So again, kind of along the Gaston, the character training and everything about it is just so incredibly fantastic that you get lost and think like, I'm straight up looking at Captain Jack Sparrow. But what's fun, one of my favorite things to do, and it happens almost 100% of the time, if you're just walking by and you go, look kids, it's Captain Jack Sparrow, he will break whatever he's doing and be like, appreciate the captain, thank you. Because everybody just calls him Jack Sparrow, and like one of the big things in the movie, Captain Jack Sparrow. So it is just, again, fantastic. Yeah, we could go with a lot of like the princesses and stuff like that, but are those the most unique? Are those the most exciting? I don't know if that's necessarily where my list goes. My list goes to what's fun, what's amazing, what's kind of captivating. And same with you with Mary Poppins, fantastic meet and greet. Because everybody's going to go trying to grab the bells and all of that stuff. So Captain Jack Sparrow, you can find him. There's a little stage that he kind of messes around on. Yeah. And a lot of times he kind of plays in and around the pillars. So you can almost miss him if you walk by and don't watch that stage as you walk by.
Exactly.
Really, really cool meet and greet. Almost like a mini stage show that he puts on with crowd participation and stand-up comedy almost.
Oh, yeah. Because you talk about, somebody in character, and that's kind of why I went with Mary Poppins as well, is the character training. And if you talk to him about rum, and you talk to him about where his ship is, they're comical topics, and he'll just go off on tangents and all kinds of fun stuff. So the conversation is almost as good as the actual character itself that's presented in front of you. So yeah. That is a fantastic number 2, and that was one of the 5 that I had in my head. So I'm going to get a little 2-for-1 action here, because I'm going to go with the Wicked Stepsisters in Behind the Castle. I think it's one of my all-time favorite meet and greets that I've ever done with my family, just because of their interaction with my kids, especially my son. Because he didn't necessarily understand where they were going with some of the conversation, and they kind of led him into different things. And at one point, he was going to marry both of them, and it just, the high-pitched whining and just the arguing with each other, and everything is absolutely perfect with that meet and greet. And they kind of meet in the Cinderella Fountain area behind Cinderella Castle at Magic Kingdom. So if you go through the castle and off to the left, there's an area there where you can find them. You can find the fairy godmother and some other characters in party times as well. So my number 2 is going to be the Wicked Stepsisters. So let's get to our number 1 choices. And before we get into our number 1, Peter, where can people find you?
Right here on Tuesday evenings.
Every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. From now until golf season.
Yeah, that's right. That's starting to cramp up. We are 1 month away from tryouts. So yeah, Facebook is the best place to find me. Send me a message through my Facebook page, Princess and the Mouse Travel. And if you just type in Disney Travel Agent, it'll be one of the top hits. And would love to talk to you about whatever it is, whether it's a cruise or Disneyland or Disney World or whatever else. And then just a reminder that I am moving beyond Disney a little bit, and I'm happy to help with other things like Universals or Caribbean cruise lines or really anything that you got going on. If you want to talk to somebody who will kind of take your hand, move you through the process, and help you along, especially at Disney, I can take all the difficulty out of the planning for you so that all you have to do is worry about getting there and having a great time with your family. Well, that and paying for it, but that's ahead of time. So I suppose there's that aspect as well.
Yeah. All right. So what's your number 1?
Man, I got there's still 3 I want to talk about, and I really want this one, but I really want that one. And we got Epcot, but then outside of that, we got a whole lot of Magic Kingdom. So then I'm sitting here thinking, well, what if I mentioned that over at Hollywood Studios, or what if I mentioned that over at should we have one from every park? Is that a stipulation?
No.
I want to do Magic Kingdom 3 for 3.
Just go 3 for 3 at Magic Kingdom.
All right. So I'm going to go 3 for 3 Magic Kingdom. Kind of the same thing. Oh, also, those Wicked Stepsisters are a fantastic call because especially during the parties when everybody's dressed up, especially at the Not So Scary, oh my gosh, those ladies go to another level, just roasting anything that looks like Cinderella. It's just hilarious. Okay, so I'm gonna stay at Magic Kingdom, and I think my favorite meet and greet that I've walked into ever is the whole thing that happens for Tinkerbell. And I've talked about Tinkerbell being a fantastic meet and greet on this show before. Just everything about it, where through the queue line, you ultimately are shrunk down to the size of a pixie so that you can go and you can talk to Tinkerbell. And now we're the same size because, of course, I got shrunk down and I'm essentially walking into this enchanted pixie hollow. And the meet and greet is personalized because they'll get some questions out of you heading into it. And you and I still haven't really necessarily figured out how in the ever love of bejesus, she's got to be with an earpiece or something, or there's got to be like a teleprompter somewhere in the scenery or something like that gives her the talking points. But it is a personalized experience. It's a unique experience. It's an immersive experience. It is just a really, really fantastic character experience. And it's kind of right next to where you'll typically find Mickey Mouse. And so because of that, a lot of times she'll get the shaft on her line and you'll be able to roll in really quickly because Mickey's got a 45 and people will see that and head out. But if you look kind of behind a column to the left, oh, there's Tinkerbell's line. It's only 20 minutes. Oh, yeah, I'll go wait for that experience for sure all day. So that is, I just, the times that we have done that, that experience just kind of stands out in terms of the face characters. Now, they're all good. They're all fantastic. Character meals are, of course, fantastic. We've had some amazing experiences with our kids at character meals. Mm-hmm. But if there's a spot I have to go queue up and wait for, I would say Tinkerbell, because I don't classify character meals as face meet and greets.
Yeah. So. Well, and I'm going to challenge that because my number 1 is going to be over at Wilderness Lodge. And I'm going to go with the Evil Queen. In the Artist Point character dining experience over there.
Enchanted storybook dining
at Artist Point. Sorry.
I know that because I have a reservation.
But again, another just absolutely phenomenal casting job and acting job by an individual. My kids were genuinely terrified of the Evil Queen the first time that we went and did that dinner experience. And you kind of meet her as you're leaving. So you get to meet a couple of the Seven Dwarves.
Always Dopey and Grumpy.
Always Dopey and Grumpy. Snow White there? Yeah.
Yeah, Snow White's there.
Yeah. And then Evil Queen on the way out. And the Evil Queen, my kids, like I said, just the picture says 1,000 words because they look intimidated. And it's it's the whole thing. I mean, and it wasn't an acting job by my kids by any means. I mean, she was stern to the point, unwilling to give her autograph in their books. I mean, she played it up really, really well. So my number one is the Evil Queen over at Storybook Dining at Artist Point.
What's it say about us that we picked 3 villains?
Well, I think, you know, it says a lot about, we picked a lot of characters that need a lot of detailed training for those roles. When you look at those roles, you know, what were your honorable mentions that didn't get?
Well, I'm just thinking, you know, you kind of mentioned World Showcase, and really World Showcase could be a favorite face character spot because everybody knows about Princess Fairy Tale Hall. Everybody knows about Cinderella's Royal Table. You know, those are sort of like the, hey, look at me, we're these meet and greets with these princesses.
Yeah.
But you can catch almost every princess if you walk your way around the World Showcase at the right times of day.
Yeah.
You can grab Mulan and Belle and Snow White. Like, they're all around that World Showcase.
Yeah, Elsa and Anna.
Yeah. One of mine that we didn't mention, I really love Alice. And I didn't want to pile on because you had already chosen UK. And because you chose UK and because Mary Poppins is back there by kind of the little mini bandstand in UK. But Alice is normally out in the little flower garden area, kind of along the central walking. And I really just, again, same thing. It's just sort of unique, and it's such a unique casting to get that person who just fits that bill wonderfully. So,
yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on and on, and we could just cheat on the top 3. Yeah. All of the fantastic characters, because that's the big thing, right? You can put anybody into a Tigger, you can put anybody into a Mickey Mouse and kind of train them, gestures and things like that. But when you're a voice character, you are genuinely, and you are a method actor at that point. It takes a different level of ability. And I think a lot of times we just see the character and just sort of like make the assumption of, oh, this is going to be close to the reality. But on the flip side of that, you have a person who worked their butt off to manage dialects and create content or consume content that was given to them, and have to go through the incredible makeup process of putting on these big flowy gowns or these very elaborate pieces, and all for the sake of then standing out in 90 whatever degree weather. Yeah. To then say, make your kid's day and make it memorable and magical. So yeah, huge hat tip to like anybody that does that. Now, being in a costume is no fair thing either. I have been a costume character in my life, and
you want to talk about being hot in something.
Yeah, feel like a wrestler making weight.
Peter, awesome top 3 tonight. Thanks for joining us. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.